You are watching Access LaPorte County Channel 97. Coming up next is the June 4th meeting for the Long Beach Tree Board. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Okay. Did you guys read the agenda when I sent it to you or? Okay. So it's like so long ago, like 3 months ago, seems like a long time and not much has happened. The first thing I'll bring up is about our submission on the Long Beach SpringNet newsletter talked about who has the oldest tree in Long Beach contest, which ends in October. Thus far, we have no one that has submitted anything, so whatever. Maybe we'll find one before then. I know, yeah. We could send out an email blast out with all the instructions just on one page. So we can do an email blast. All right, Maple City did everything and we needed to check that Maple City completed all that, and that was all and we talked about revisiting the intersections in need of clear sightlines. So new businesses, the first thing we're going to talk about is Stop 26 and the girdled tree. So right now, CNA has been out and looked at it. He said that it will die probably within 3 years. There's not much you can do by girdling a tree and taking all that bark off around the entire tree causes the tree not to get the nutrients from the roots because it stops there. It doesn't go up. But Paul and I on Monday are going down to the tree. We got some kind of spray paint and some wrap, and we're going to try that. Just, it wasn't expensive, and we thought, well, what the heck? We'll try and see if that'll make. How old is the tree? It's old. It's a maple, and it's amongst other trees. Yeah, it's I know.
Well, we've done that before. I remember Doc.
Yeah.
We've had a contraption before you did, saving the tree in the.
Yeah, I know.
It's not like
Well, the thing, I guess the reason we're doing this is that it's illegal.
Well, somebody
Did that,
damaged
and it's on town
the tree.
property, and they
You're right.
shouldn't have done that.
no, you're right. But
And Chief has sent out people to the houses and asking if they saw anything, and we're still paying attention to see.
I agree. We should
Yeah.
try to, did that, but
Yeah. But what we would like to do, and we'll probably lose it, what our updated ordinance states is all the fines that occur if you do this. It's $750 for the first tree. You have to pay for replacing a tree just like that, and all of the stuff that goes along with doing that by hiring an arborist, which we've already had them come out to look at, and all that. So it's not something, the fee is, right now, our fee system for the trees is really what it should be compared to other municipalities and what it would really take to replace that tree.
So we're going to use it as an example to the community to say, if you're going to do this, this is what the fine is going to be, so that we have some cred,
Yeah.
the tree board.
So will that be in a newsletter or something?
Probably next
Yeah.
month's tree board update.
Yeah, we
Mhm.
we didn't put it in there. What I did
We
put in,
didn't put it in because we don't have all the calculations and all
but
the
if you
fees.
look at the newsletter, you'll see I totally went into what we changed in the update and all of the fines.
Mhm.
That's in the newsletter about what happens if you do something, what you take a tree down on.
this sentence saying,
Yeah. I don't know. It's a mystery. The girdle tree mystery. We're on it. Then
believe
someone went back and
cameras.
they put pavers around it. It's like nobody's paying attention. It's a stop. So
we're watching.
we are watching. So that's, so we're going to do that June 9th is go June 9th, and I think we should have someone take pictures of Paul and I doing this.
I could do that. If I'm here, I'll take
It's-
pictures.
So, and then the next thing on our list was about, we're gonna take another look around at all the trees that were trimmed on private property or in front of private property, that was done in the fall. It didn't really get done until February.
Is this the list in front of us?
Yeah, that's the list, and we're gonna just take another look at it and make sure that they did what they were supposed, they did do what they were supposed to. We
I
just
think-
want to see.
I think
okay.
there's a tree missing. But I left my file in the car because it was raining.
What tree?
I thought there was a tree again behind the houses at shop 22 that was going to be removed.
That was mine. It was.
Oh,
It was mine. It was, and then I got on them about they didn't take the tree.
no, but that's not,
It's not on there
Not on
because
there
it's mine.
'cause it's a-
They,
it's- It was.
they
really
did cut
part
it
of the
down,
stuff.
but there was some, I wanted to be clearer on how they go about taking stumps out. They're telling me they can't take my stump out.
oh, I know that me too.
I'm like, ah. And then I was talking to Barb Zurich and they had somebody over at the Notre Dame that they had whatever, do a whole bunch of stumps and he was pretty
Oh,
reasonable.
oh, it's terrible. Did you see the picture?
No,
They are, they're grinding
Yeah.
stems.
yeah,
And the pile of sawdust
yeah.
that's blowing around in that neighborhood, it's probably 3 to 4 stories.
Oh, wow.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's really causing a lot of distress in the neighborhood.
I actually looked up for my tree stumps. There is something that you can do and put into the tree stumps and cover it in burlap and it'll make it
Yeah, but I
decompose
do
quicker.
understand, Chief said that if removing the stump in any way disturbs the ground, like there's a road behind some of our
Right, the
houses.
ground,
that
or
you
then you have to
don't-
worry
you-
about
you
all the
can't-
gas and
can't.
electric
Yeah,
and all that,
sure.
so, but, I still want to have a complete understanding on how this happened. I mean, with the tree stumps.
Mhm.
Another thing that I want to clear up too is when we worked really hard on doing this and we got 3 different, bids, and I had no problem with 2 of the companies, and communicating with Maple Tree City was difficult. And Chief actually ended up doing the talking with them, and I want to, if we do this again this year, I want to make it clear that he needs to talk to the tree board or whoever's calling them. I mean, just because that's what everybody else did. We want everybody bidding the same way. So,
Yeah.
just minor details. Maybe it's just I was kind of insulted that he wouldn't speak to me. And not only that, when I did call him, he's like, oh, Long Beach, yeah, we did some work for them. I'm like, wow. So, whatever. That's all over with. They have been good to the city. Their prices are unbelievable. They're cheap. I don't know how good they are. There's always suspect that we don't have arborists, but if they're trimming, are they trimming correctly? We're still in that learning phase of making sure we have the right people taking the right stuff. But if they're taking down a tree, and we don't need to have an arborist take a tree down. So,
No.
Yeah.
Who are you talking about?
Maple City.
I thought they were quite efficient.
Oh, yeah, I know. I just talking about communicating with them when we were doing this bidding process was difficult. It's like they talked to him once, then, I would text, the communication wasn't as easy as I did with everybody else, so. Anyway, so another thing is like, if we go and look at all these other trees, I would like for us to start our own list of trees that we feel that should be taken down. Usually we're waiting for Tom and Chief to come up with trees that, make this list or somehow got through to them or whatever. So it makes this list, because I've been noticing a lot of trees that really need to be cut down that, so I don't think there's anything wrong with us starting a list ourselves and giving, talking to Chief and talking to Tom and all that. And we start this whole process of starting the tree list. So, and they're probably not gonna, we're hoping that they'll always just do the trimming in the fall because it's a better time to do
Well, the
trimming.
maples shouldn't be trimmed
Yeah.
in the,
But people make the mistake, I don't know anything about the maples. But I know, and I don't know anything. The trees really. But someone told me that in Long Beach, people are planting maple trees too close to homes.
Mm-hmm.
They get too big to be, they're nice when they're tiny and they put them, and then all of a sudden they're just overshadowing them. So
And actually, we have it, and,
you know about, not we, but
yeah,
people have to know about trees when they go to plant them. They're
right.
going to get.
we
bigger.
put that in one of the newsletters.
Put in the newsletter.
With a link to,
And
I'll
actually, in our
House.
ordinance, we have trees that you shouldn't put in there.
but.
But that's not a bad idea, doing this in the fall,
We can't control what's on
Put
people's
some
property.
maples
Yeah.
In front of the new firehouse,
Yeah,
and they're,
Oh, I
they
don't know.
shouldn't be there.
maples?
Because they're too, I think someone said at the time, they're planted too close to the firehouse. I mean, they're just gonna be too big for the space.
We did mention that. That was
Okay.
mentioned, right? We did
Well,
That
mention.
was not maples, it was some kind of evergreen.
Oh, but now, but now they have,
But it wasn't against the firehouse, it was at the back end of people's property.
yeah.
So
Did they
this is
put-
something different.
Didn't they put some maples in there though? Did they got
Um,
real?
Yeah, I think they did, but like I said, it's not at the firehouse, it's on the people's. property.
Yeah, so, but not a bad thing to, talk
figure
about it again. What we talked about is what they shouldn't do on town property. So I'm just thinking, we can write about something, for them to know about when they're landscaping their homes, just as a, did you know kind of thing.
So when you're talking about the 2025 fall tree trimming list,
Needs to be.
it has not been started by,
No, usually they might have a list. I don't know. I haven't asked Chief.
but we
Peop-
should go out and start looking.
I think, let's
Okay.
start our own list to make sure we get some of the trees
We
that we
can
feel.
start with
And the-
Chastleton.
and the
How
because
about-
light.
Yeah, Chastleton and
Chastleton.
Carwick.
Big limb came down last night. It's sitting there off on by Hacienda.
Yeah, I
And
just saw
there's
that.
I saw a
Mhm.
truck and it's like this far away from hitting a big branch that's growing too low. So I have a bunch of trees that I want to tie yellow ribbons on.
But that's what we could do. We could say like, okay, we're going to do this tree trim, but how about we start working on Carwick and Chastleton as you come into Long Beach?
Mhm.
I mean, the trucks are hitting them.
Yeah.
And then the ones that might be Michigan City, let's call Michigan City and say,
Yeah.
the trucks are cutting,
Well,
the garbage trucks are hitting them.
Springland, they have done a lot of trimming, but they're still
Right.
way over.
So, but, so I just thought if we're going to go take another look at these trees, let's look, start driving around on our own or walking around and making some lists on our own. But I think,
know.
targeting,
I'd like-
Carwick and Chastleton would be a good thing. Do you agree? Okay. This was, I gave this to Chief in March, at the March meeting. I updated the streets and intersections in need of clear sight lines. And he took it and he was starting to work on it. And then all the paving started and they had not anticipated trimming trees for the equipment to come down the street.
Sure.
So they had they had Maple City come in and, trim everything up so the equipment for paving the street could get down the streets. So I have no idea where this is at.
Chief had told me that Tom can do the intersections.
Okay.
So we just need to follow up with Chief and see when they're going to start that. But they're busy right now with.
Yeah, he is,
I saw them, do we know the sequence of paving?
yes.
Yes.
There's a
There's a flyer out in the lobby.
It has all of them and the dates and everything. So, yeah, because I know he had talked about the trees, then the paving, and then working on some of the key intersections because of 4th of July. he's been slowly, I see it a little bit, the one on Hazeltine and Foxdale. A tree came down that, they are starting to clean it up. It seems less and less junk hanging there. So there was like a major, looks like the tree completely fell out of the hill or whatever, but it's, that whole section there would be nice just to take a big old machine and like, whatever. So, but I don't know where he is on this, but we can ask him. Steve, is anybody here? See anybody on this?
Yeah, I was just looking.
Yeah. Okay. And if you see of any intersection, do you have this list, you guys? I'll send it to you.
No, you mean this list?
This list.
Yeah.
Did I send it out? I'll send it out. Again, I do have it. And this is,
No, we
this is,
don't have that.
no, yeah, I'll email this to you. This is the current list. And if you're driving around, write down intersections that you still can't see. Some people have made effort to clean it up to see better, which has been nice. Anita did. She cut the bottom half of her trees down instead of them, boom. So I guess it's kind of hard to make that decision. And well, anyway, some of it we'll have to do because of them being dangerous.
Yeah, the one on Fairway, I was coming around the corner, a lady was on her cell phone, wasn't even watching. She almost hit me head on
Oh.
because I had to move over for the tree and I couldn't see her coming around the corner because the tree's
Mhm.
blocking the view.
Was
and
that even,
she's on her phone
Oh,
looking down.
Is that Fairway Drive?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And another one, I there.
Oh.
No, in Bell Plain.
yeah,
I mean, I don't know if there's any or overgrowths, but those are streets that are
Mhm.
notorious.
Yeah. And the
Okay.
bike riders come, you cannot see a bike.
oh, I saw the police stop a bike rider yesterday. No, not yesterday, the day before. He stopped him. Oh, man, told him, he was going on the wrong side of the street.
And stopping golf carts too.
Yeah.
I saw him pull over a golf.
Well, he's
cart.
looking for the registration thing, and I think they're watching all the young kids. They have to be 16 to drive, so. Oh, summer's gonna be fun. Every year, in the summer, there's a group of kids, boys mostly. There's like too many of them on it. The music is blaring and they are having a ball. And no, a number of times I've seen them go by and I count 1, 2, pull them over. But it's youth, so we just need them to be careful. So, and then we're gonna, and then the final thing I wanted to talk about is that we've updated the ordinance. We've updated all the exhibits. I cleaned all that up and that's all done and in the computer. So we're done with that. The only other thing we want to do is like revisit the application process and permit for removing a tree in the town. We kind of did it and then nobody's actually used it in a while, so we want to revisit, make sure it's people understand it and it's doable and it's, whatever.
Yeah, so that the people like this that are calling into chief
Yeah.
that say, I want a tree done, he can point them to the permit process.
Do they get a lot of calls to do that?
Yeah, they had.
Well,
these came from-
called chief and chief puts them on a list.
And we want them to fill out the permit. Just because some people, we really don't know if the tree is on their property or if it's town property.
And
So
we're gonna
that
have-
needs
we're gonna have to
needs
track
to
the
be
chief.
determined.
And not only that, because they fill it out, we'll know exactly what tree they're talking about. I mean, when they go there, and you're right, we're gonna put yellow ribbons on them. I don't know how many times I went back to some of those stops and said, that one, especially over at Story. You could take 4 down and who would know? I mean, it's ridiculous over there. So, I mean, none of the trees are grown because they're so crowded.
Right.
Over on Story, up there all the way up on
Because we
Story.
want to have that canopy lifted too in that park area. The by.
Parkside?
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yes. I like that. I'd like to do what Tony McCree did. at South
Well,
31.
is that Juneway and Parkside? Okay,
Juneway and
okay, I know what you're talking about Parkside, but was it
Because
lit?
it's called a park, but
Yeah,
there's one park.
I know.
I had a whole series of pictures.
yeah.
It had one park bench in there and I stopped counting.
Yeah. Well, it's considered Parsons. But what was interesting, like right across from where that is, where, June Way, it's like that V intersection, and we took the tree down and then we had, you and I went over there, he wanted to put a tree in and that's when we looked at everything in the ordinance. No, there's all kinds of wires, there's a fire hydrant, it's a ridiculous intersection.
Yeah.
It should be blank.
Mhm.
So people can, I mean, kids are riding their bikes and those scooters and it's just, and they coming down a hill. It's like, this is just danger.
Yeah, I've been down June Way in a while.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of trees, but there's no trees at, what is it? What's the, what's the name of the street for 20? That's 20, I'm thinking.
Golden Gate.
Golden Gate.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you go down Golden Gate, that's where you intersect. Yeah. That's, and as you go down it and you go up June Way does have a lot of trees towards the end of it,
June
so,
Way goes off to the left.
yeah. So, but, so, and that's about all I have. So, we'll work on the permit system. I don't even have the old, I have to go through my papers to find the
Yeah,
old
why
one.
don't we can email everybody in between now and
And have you
next
read
couple
what we
weeks
have
and
so
read.
far and you can scribble on it and say, this is,
It's too bad I didn't bring my file in.
I know,
I know I
I
had-
didn't
I know
bring
I
my
had to say
I
file.
didn't want to get it all wet.
Yeah, I know I
I'll
have
send
it.
it out. I'll send it out in an
Yeah,
email.
And then we can all look at
you
it
can
and
look-
whatever you think.
Make comments.
We just want to make it understandable and easy to do, so. Where's the tree? So, but, and then we also have to talk to chief about making these people that call him, call us so we can send them the permit. But we're not going to talk to chief until we get this rewritten. So when he gets people that want a tree taken down that's on town property, he should then tell us and we will send him the permit.
Or
Yeah.
he can direct them to the website
Yeah.
with the permit and say, fill out the permit and then
Yeah.
copy the tree board on.
Yeah, there's some new system that they, in the building commission, they have everybody learn that you can just go in there and it's real
Mhm.
easy to,
Yeah.
but we have to clean up that, we want it to be a regular permit that people can access. Oh. Okay.
And maybe we charge a fee.
Yeah, why not? Everyone else.
Because we could charge a fee because it costs the town a lot of money to take down a tree. I mean, if it's one
Then-
thing if it's dead, but if
Right.
it's trimming it and things,
And not only that, if it,
all these trees were taken down, right?
no, they were trimmed. The thing is that not only that, but if they want it down and we're saying no, and then we have to just kind of wait, we're spending time and arborists. Yeah, we let them pay for the permit to have it taken down. I don't know how that's gonna go. We're gonna have to talk to the town council and see if that's something that we can do, but they charge money for every permit there is,
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
permit for it.
right? So.
And there's a cost to every
Right.
permit.
Yeah. So we'll have to, we definitely have to talk to chief about the chain of command for taking a tree down on the town property. So other than that, anyone else have anything they like to talk about or?
So is there a budget already for this year?
Usually when you look at the budget, it's under tree maintenance. And I think at the beginning they had $50,000. They're probably more than halfway through it with this be doing, I don't know how it held over. Actually, I do not know, but he takes money out of tree maintenance.
What is our fiscal?
It's in the fiscal budget.
What is that,
October.
January to December?
I think it's,
Yeah, it's after summer, yeah.
I look up the budget
Fiscal
dates
year is.
because they do budget right in September, October.
Oh, then it's stupid.
Yeah. mhm.
Mhm. Oh, I wish it was California. We, how about if we divide up these addresses and each of us, look, how many other 14? Give
Bef-
some to Charlie, just, we
and
only
I-
have to do
I
3.
need you to add something to the tree description because this doesn't tell us if a tree was trimmed, cut down.
That's
Because if we go to these addresses,
This I use to communicate to the people.
I
that it was on
understand,
the- yeah.
but do you have a list that says what should we look for? Because I wouldn't know if I went to
But we got
2614.
that, we got.
It
that
says
list.
a large
Yes,
oak
I do
near the
have,
mailbox.
I do have that.
Was it cut down or was it?
I have
trimmed?
no idea.
Of all these
But
trees?
didn't they ask for either cut down?
Well, I have what they wanted. What I
Yeah,
have is a
that's what I meant.
description of what they should have done. That I
Yeah,
have.
That's what we
And I will-
need
yeah,
on this
okay.
spreadsheet.
Okay, send that.
Yeah. Because otherwise, okay, 2 oak trees, well, which 2 oak trees?
I think I
'Cause
just did it so you had the
Stevens have A
address.
bunch of
Let me
oak
see if I
trees.
have them here.
I see that, Jen.
And I can send you this in a link, this map, if you need it. I just took Google Maps and put trees
Hmm.
on where, so these are, that's a picture of all places that trees were.
Here, this is exactly what the tree people were given.
So none of these have been done yet?
This was done by Maple City. So you can look at the prices if you want. But this is what we gave them, the description of the tree and told them what to do, and that's how they bidded it.
Yeah, could you send that to everyone?
I don't know if I'll have, see if I can find that. You can make,
Oh, okay, I'll
I-
make a
but-
PDF of it and send it.
oh, I can make it a be.
Oh,
I have all this.
so you'll send it in email?
And then this was John's tree service. This was his bid. I had each of them and then they signed it. They were signed, he wanted 41 and then Maple City,
But we don't need
Yeah,
that one
yeah,
now.
no, but it's all the same. This was just
Mhm.
different, so. Have it in my. This was. This was Kayla did for me. I wanted the name of all the people that were in the trees.
All the people that what?
All the people, I wanted to know the people's names.
Yeah,
who own
that's
the house.
what I.
We just had,
here.
have the address. So that's why I had this done. And then
So we
she-
need a combination of the two.
You don't need
like,
their
we need it-
names. You don't need their names. Because this is old. We're just going through it to make sure and then we're gonna clear it out and then the new ones.
Just, that's the old town map.
The old town.
It's, they're sitting out there in the
Plaque.
front. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He said.
With Michiana Shores and.
Yeah, this is what chiefs send out to all the people when they, to tell them that they were gonna be doing it.
Yeah, it was in a quote.
Yeah, okay, I'll send the list of trees. I did go look at all of them after it, but you know, what we.
Well, it's like, I know that at the corner of Moore Road and.
Was it
whatever.
on there?
Yeah, but it.
He didn't do the right tree?
Yeah,
That's what this whole permit thing is. it was very, very confusing to know which tree you were looking at.
That's why we
I-
need to put ribbons.
We're
on
we're gonna
them.
have to put, you know, the yellow tree, because I looked at Moore Road 3 times and I took pictures and I thought it was this one, I thought it was that one, and sent it to them, so they probably, part of that was probably my fault, so. But I think
And I
maybe,
think they should have done more at the bulletin,
for what,
because there's still a branch that's low and one that's high. I
well, we
thought they
told
were
them,
gonna get
what
that
we tell
one.
them, 14 feet?
Yeah, and they're still, they should have gone, because it's gonna hit. But that's okay. Well,
Well,
we can, if the other trees in the park need to be done, so we'll worry about that next
and then
time.
the one in front of that, but
But if we pay, that's the thing of,
what, I think when we gave it to them, we told them 14 feet or whatever, and that was all they were gonna do. So if we want them to go 18 feet, we need to tell them that. Mm-hmm.
okay,
So I did,
I'll take a look and,
so I was pretty,
yeah.
clear on that, especially when I send this one. This one was probably the clearest because they were doing it. And I had on here, look, Mount St. Clair, did they remove it? We had removal. He was gonna charge 25. And he did mine. Then I was told that if they can, they will grind the stump out, but they get to decide if it should be grounded out. And I questioned that, and they came back, never told me they were coming back. They kept coming down that street off of Hazeltine, said they couldn't get it in there and they'd be worried about the septic tank. I said, my house, you could do it. I mean, I've had Brian Mann out there with a massive piece of equipment cutting all my oaks. There's no way that whatever they use to grind a tree is that huge, is it?
Oh.
So.
They kind of come.
Well, they'll cut it down as close as they can to the ground, but it's kind of all mute because that's the area that should have been a street. And there's like 5 or 6 tree trunks there, so. But that's another story.
Makes it
for
bumpy.
Only big.
Yeah,
SUVs
it makes
could
it
go there.
bumpy. So, but yeah, so other than that, yeah, so I'll send that to you with all the, information and what they were supposed to do, because that's all we really need to know. So, or, we can ask the people, I can give, Kayla came up with the list of all the people because she could do that right away because he sent them all a letter saying they were coming around and going to be doing it. Chief does that. He's the one that notified them that, and that's in our ordinance that we notify him that we're going to be cutting the trees down. Or trimming them too, so. But, whatever, so, anything else?
We done?
Yeah.
Time to
Right. So do I hit red?
go looking around.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'll send all the,
So which trees do we want which people to look at?
well, I thought you wanted me to send the list so they know what to look at.
Yeah, but we could divide them right
Okay,
now,
let's
right?
divide it, yeah.
Because,
Or are we gonna go see if they did what they said? Is
Yeah.
that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. So we do need that list.
I want to,
yeah, but what makes sense to how to group these? Who's going to take these 4? Who's going to take these 4?
okay.
That's what I was thinking. So, and then when you get the list from Ellen, okay,
So
I have
this-
these 4.
Sure.
These are the,
I'll take whatever you want,
Okay, so this is,
because I go by golf cart.
yeah, she just zips around in her golf cart.
Yeah, well, I'm sure Dave does too.
Sure, I
Hmm.
do the ones.
Okay. And what
the
about,
ones
How do you
along the
know which-
stops?
Are they have a yellow ribbon on them?
Well, if they're gone, they
that's,
don't.
yeah,
Oh, these are ones that are gone?
Well,
These
these
are ones
are
that-
either, some of them may be cut down. They're trimmed or gone. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why we need Ellen's
I
list.
remember the only one I couldn't find or couldn't identify is that Story one.
yeah.
I had never heard of that street. Let alone, yeah. Story Street?
Story Street, I think it was named after a family named Story that
I
lived
don't
here.
believe it stopped 17 very much.
It's, it
Hmm.
didn't stop 16, becomes 14.
How many have had the stumps?
Probably none. It seems to be another
That, you know, that
process.
would be nice to know because that got awful confusing. They said, you know, they will do it. So then I had all of the, people that were bidding on it just to let me know if they could take the stump out and how much it would be to take the stump out. However, when Maple City did it, they got to decide if it should come out. So I guess I need to learn a little bit more about the ability to take a stump out. So,
Talk to Brian Mann because his person that does stump removal is amazing.
yeah,
Whoever he uses, he doesn't do it.
yeah. So,
Do you want me to take Belle Plaine?
okay, where's stop 27? There's Carwick. It's up this way. Hmm.
I could take the two floral trail and the Belle Plaine ones.
Because I had them all kind of in order. They go from 17 to 19 to 20, 22 to 24. I did them
Do we,
all in order of the stops. Hmm?
David, I need one.
Well, I'll send you this link and you'll be able to go to Google Maps and zoom right in on it if you want to do the
Oh, sure.
Google Map thing, but you
Mm.
can take one of those.
That's actually
too.
how I got around to finding them, is just using Google Map. So I
They're
can,
all in order.
yeah, I know. I had them all in order.
I had to rearrange some of them, but that's okay. They're by stop, except I don't have the
17,
stop.
19, 22, but well, that's
Yeah,
by
but
their
I went to
address. You can
Google
tell what
Maps.
stop.
Mhm.
Mine would be a lot smaller.
What's that?
I went to Google Maps.
The only thing that wouldn't be in the order,
If you do this, and I can send you whichever houses you have, and I can zoom in and it'll give you the address of, it'll actually show you the outline of the house. So either way.
and the part of the problem is half the people don't on their house. That's the difficult part.
It's Indianapolis.
No, I know.
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't find it, but I never found the trees.
Oh,
Yeah.
got it.
And yeah.
Yeah, I had them all in order except for the town ones at the end. They were done by the first two numbers.
Do you have a street called Nether Cliff Way? Apparently
What do you need?
near Silvertip.
Another-
Silvertip is just on the other side of 19. You go way up high.
Oh, okay.
You know, you go down 19 that,
Streets
And-
up there.
when you turn in there, it's the first,
It is.
it's,
Another clip.
Yeah, I know.
I was just using the.
when I was
Right.
feeling very like, I want to be healthy, I would walk Silvertip. It's like,
You guys do enough. I have no problem.
no, I can
I'll-
find them all.
I can do all this if you want. Check them all out.
Sure.
Want me to do it? I'll.
Yeah, we'll do it and we'll look at the town stuff is ones that you
Yeah,
felt there
we'll
was
do
a
the town-
problem. We'll
uh-huh.
do the town ones
I
until.
mean, it's not a problem. I just had to, I couldn't place them on my map because I didn't have the exact address because Google Maps doesn't say stop 22, so I don't know where.
Right.
Mm-mm.
So all this,
No.
yeah, see, all this.
You have to, well. you
Well,
have
I
to-
know
you have
stop
to-
28, but you have to
number-
know.
You have to
it's-
number these little entrances.
Yeah.
Well, these were, all you had to do is go down, stop 17, then you go right into Story. And it wiggles around, but those addresses are close to the stops and Story kind of wiggles around into 16.
But you need, don't you need this?
I'll send it to you.
As long as I have the address.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll tell, Ellen's gonna send the
taken.
instructions that were given to Maple City. So then
Great.
we'll have everything you need.
I think it was given to all of them, but when we gave it to Maple City, I might have added extra stuff.
I think you
thought-
sent it, but it wasn't in that format. It was on a different format when you sent all the
The-
quotes.
The quotes,
Yeah.
the table for the quotes were for the vendors. This was for Chief to send out the
Yeah, I
letters that they were
understand.
coming, yeah.
I'm saying,
Yeah.
I don't know that I have this in this format.
Didn't I give it to you?
Yeah, I mean, that these guys got.
No, this I did after the fact.
I'm
Once a-
looking for the instructions that you gave to Maple City.
It's a Maple City quote.
I understand, but I have a Maple City quote, not a spreadsheet. But that's okay.
We didn't do a spreadsheet.
Yes, you did. No, I have it. It's in your binder on your first section. You did a spreadsheet telling with,
I mean, this thing?
yeah, that says which tree should come out or which
This?
tree.
No, this one?
And yeah.
Yeah, here, take it. I have it on it's on my computer. I didn't get rid of
Yeah, I
it.
know, but I don't. Elect, and neither do they.
Gotcha.
That's
Okay, that's our confusion. I thought, yeah, I did do that. I have
Yeah.
it. So I will send it,
Yeah.
I will send this to you. I
Send
need,
it to Dave,
and
'cause
I'll,
he's
and I
doing
need to send the sight lines and you and I will
Yeah.
deal with the trees and we're
Yeah.
gonna, we need to have a little conference this meeting. Okay, but we're putting this on the list.
You can turn the.